All right, you magnificent bastards. Let's dive into how one of the biggest landlords on the planet might be facing a bill so big it'll make your eyes water. You know, this whole story starts with a simple fact. When you've got them by the balls, they tend to shut the fuck up. And right now, Brookfield is being very, very quiet. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to put a price on every shitty practice, every corner they've allegedly cut, and every single tenant they've supposedly screwed over. And our story begins, as all good horror stories do, in one single apartment in a so-called luxury high-rise in New York City. Now, what's really interesting here is it's not just one thing, it's a complete symphony of incompetence and danger. We're talking AC units that are a fire hazard, wiring that's a confirmed risk, and power bills that go from kinda high to, holy shit, I need a second mortgage. And my personal favorite, one apartment might have been paying to run the building's goddamn elevator. You can't make this up.
Yeah, you're seeing that right, 27 grand. That's the kind of money one single person was allegedly overbilled for just keeping the lights on. It's not a mistake, it's a statement.
So let's peel back the next layer of this shit onion, shall we? This is where it goes from simple incompetence to something that looks a whole lot like a fucking scam.
And this, right here, illustrates the core of the grift. It's a closed loop of financial fucking. There's no outside check, no balance. It's just them billing you from another company they also own.
Just to make it perfectly clear, there's no confusion here. The landlord is the utility company, and the utility company is the landlord. It's the perfect setup for them.
So, the crucial point is, how can you possibly get a fair shake when the house owns the casino and also prints the money? You can't. That's the whole point.
Okay, so now we zoom out. We're going from one building scam to what looks like a nationwide conspiracy to fuck with your rent. This gets so much bigger.
Right. The Department of Justice calls this a tech-enabled cartel, which is just a fancy way of saying a bunch of landlords who are supposed to be competing use the same piece of software to illegally fix their prices and screw everyone over together.
See, this software lets so-called competitors act like a single price-gouging monster. They'd all secretly feed their rent data in, and the algorithm would spit back the highest possible price they could all charge in unison. It's collusion, plain and simple.
And of course they were. Of course. You don't get this big by playing fair, you get this big by finding new and innovative ways to take every last cent from people.
Okay, enough foreplay. Let's start attaching some big, scary numbers to all this corporate malfeasance. It's time to see what this shit show is actually going to cost them. We're going to build this build brick by brick, starting with our old friend, the Eugene, and then scale it up. It's going to be beautiful.
First up, the tenants. Let's say about 200 of them got hit with that same 27 grand overcharge. Well, this is what happens when you rip off an entire building at once. The bill adds up, and it adds up fast.
And you can't just ignore fire hazards and national safety codes for years on end. Eventually, the city sends a bill, and it's a goddamn doozy. This is just an estimate for one property. So for just one building, one single property, we're already looking at a potential liability of nearly $8 million. This is before we even get to the really big numbers.
And hey, let's not forget the pocket change they had to cough up for their role in the alleged price-fixing cartel. Just a little $5 million cherry on top of the shit sundae. Now for the main event. Let's make a simple, terrifying assumption. What if the Eugene isn't an anomaly? What if it's a business model?
Look, if a company cuts corners in one place to save a buck, you can bet your ass they're doing it everywhere. That's how they maximize profit. So let's assume they do.
And when you multiply that one building shit show by their entire portfolio, and then you add in the settlement, and then you slap on $500 million for, reputational damage, well, the numbers just become astronomical.
And that, my friends, is the final price tag. Nearly $3 billion fucking dollars. That's billion with a B, as in bye-bye profits. That's the number they're staring at, and it just leaves you wondering if even a bill that big, a bill that could cripple a smaller company, is even enough to make a corporation like this change its ways. We'll see.